Jammer. Today, I kind of want to talk about something that I noticed. So yesterday, they just announced that Fire Emblem Warriors finally getting a release date, going to be on October 20th. I had to look at my notes are down there. I might do it a few times through the video, just FYI. But anyways, we never really knew when Warriors was coming out. We were kind of thinking, oh, maybe it'll be, it's got to be sometime in the fall. Obviously, they only have so many more months to come out into this year. We were thinking it wasn't going to be a holiday type, but at the same time, we weren't sure. Mario Odyssey kind of screwed us up here, but now it's the week before Mario Odyssey, which is absolutely insane. Insane to pack all this stuff in the same 2 weeks. And people are just making the comment like, oh, only being a week out from Mario Odyssey, that's probably not the smartest thing to do, to have two pretty big Nintendo-published games right back to back. Obviously, Koei Tecmo is doing a lot of the stuff with Fire Emblem Warriors, but still, you know, Nintendo property type deal, going to be distributed through them and stuff like that. But if we actually take a look at the next coming weeks, like honestly, this week, it's kind of a break-ish. We got the Splatfest coming up. I guess Mario and Rabbids is this week, essentially, in that kind of coverage. So next week's fine. Next week is a break. The following after that, on the 15th of September, that's when Metroid Samus Returns comes out on the 3DS. Now, the 22nd is the following Friday. That's when Pokken Tournament DX comes out on the Nintendo Switch. The following week, on the 29th, the SNES Mini Classic, whatever, that's coming out, and there's going to be coverage on that as well. The following week after that, the 6th of October, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga Remake on the 3DS. The following week after that, well, we do actually have a break. This is the 13th. This is the 1 week we actually have a break in exclusion to next week, essentially. But then we're right back into it, the 20th being Fire Emblem Warriors, and then the following week, the 27th being Mario Odyssey. It is insane. They are stacking up weekly titles, weekly releases, first-party releases, in exception obviously Fire Emblem Warriors, but you know what I mean. The point being is there's a lot coming out in the next few months, and we're going to be so busy over here. And I'm scared, but I'm so excited because what a time to be a Nintendo fan. Who would ever complain about obviously getting more new games, you know? And I don't think it's a long time since we've been getting so many releases in such a short span of time as a Nintendo fan anyways. But the thing is now that I kind of wonder is what's next? If they're putting so much in these months, like honestly, if they were to spread out the titles that we already have in these 2 months for the rest of the year, totally content. I mean, I know we have Xenoblade 2 coming up a little bit, and supposedly this holiday, a lot of people are kind of thinking it's going to get delayed, but who really knows? It could be a December title, like December 5th, or whatever the first Friday of December is. I could see something like that. But honestly, a lot of us were expecting, you know, Mario Odyssey to be a November title, but when it wasn't, and it'd be October, we're thinking, okay, well now what's going to be the holiday Switch title? We're thinking, okay, again, maybe it's going to be Fire Emblem Warriors, I guess? Not entirely, the thing about that is it doesn't seem like a holiday title, you know, it's kind of like, it's going to be a big deal, don't get me wrong, but it's not a system seller like Mario Odyssey would be. So look, still, the big question mark now is what's going to be happening in November? We are stacked in September, stacked in October, and now it's like, I'm just kind of thinking, what's going to be in November? Really, we have Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. That's the only other Nintendo release that they've announced anyways, talking about what's coming up. And that's, of course, probably going to be the Friday before Black Friday, as it always and usually is. Makes a ton of sense. And, of course, they don't want to do a one-to-one compete with their own handheld launch of, you know, the Pokemon game, of course. But, I mean, I feel like it's going to be very smart for this first Christmas of Nintendo Switch. They really need to have something with it, right? Theoretically. I mean, obviously, they're going to be pushing all the titles throughout the entire year. Like, Mario Kart's going to be a big seller this Christmas. I'm sure Zelda, as well as Mario Odyssey, what else? Splatoon, of course. Maybe even Pokken and other stuff like that. I'm sure they're going to be pushing all the titles that they've had this past year. But, I mean, I was under the impression we'd be getting a new game. I don't know. Am I crazy? Or could Xenoblade 2 be that title? But again, does it make sense to be a... That doesn't... To me, I don't know. That doesn't make sense to be in the slot of the, you know, Friday before Black Friday, the big quote-unquote Christmas holiday title. It really makes sense to me to be a December title, kind of like Xenoblade X was. So I'm kind of lost for, like, words. I'm not sure what's going to happen. They haven't really... I mean, there's all that news coverage and stuff like that at the Gamescom in Europe where they're talking about, you know, all the upcoming... Showed off some new stuff from Mario Odyssey, some new trailers, like the ARMS one. They showed off some Fire Emblem Warrior trailers and stuff like that. So we did get some new information, but potentially this is kind of showing us that maybe it is time for a Nintendo Direct pretty soon. I mean, like, it's been a while. It's been since E3, so it's been a few months anyways, and there was kind of like the rumblings of fans being like, you know, kind of craving something new. And obviously, I was going to say something like that we were going to be expecting one soon, but then when I saw the Gamescom stuff, it's like, well, that's a lot of stuff I would expect in a Direct, like a new ARMS character trailer, a new trailer for Fire Emblem Warriors, a new gameplay of the Vegetable Zone in Mario Odyssey, stuff like that. So a lot of those bases were kind of covered, so I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be seeing a direct that soon. Potentially the next time we could see it is maybe when they actually have that little break in between the September titles and October titles. I mean, that could potentially be the week that they throw it out there. But at the same time, you might be waiting too late to do that, because that means that you're a week out from Fire Emblem Warriors and only 2 weeks out from Mario Odyssey. Granted, there's still a little bit of a buffer time, but I think that's about the perfect timing, or the point where consumers are going to be kind of wondering, well, what's next for the Switch? What else do you got, Nintendo? I'm personally really content with what we have with this year, and I think, honestly, they should have spread it out, like I previously mentioned. But of course, if this is their lineup, obviously they're going to be sticking to it, it really just leaves a question. We have no releases so far for November on either console, as far as I can remember. I think Monster Hunter Stories, that actually is coming out this month, actually. I'm not sure. So there might be something I am missing, but there's no big first-party Nintendo title, as far as I can remember, coming out this November. But in exception to, obviously, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. So yeah, it's a little weird. We kind of had a similar situation a few years back with the Wii U, but obviously that didn't do very good at all for Nintendo there. I mean, the holiday title was first was supposed to be Zelda, then that got delayed. Then we thought, okay, maybe it's Star Fox Zero, then that got delayed. So it ended up being Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, and then Xenoblade X, the following in December. So there was Mario Ultra Smash Tennis, which was, it was a terrible year. That was a terrible year. I don't even want to think about that anymore. And I think Nintendo, how they've been going lately, they want to keep this momentum going with the amount of freaking titles they have stacked in these next 2 months. It only makes sense they're going to try to keep that momentum going, and throughout the holiday season, especially the holiday season, man. That's like one of the most important times of year for video games and all sorts of entertainment media, And a lot of people thought originally the Switch needed to launch during Christmas to try to get that initial sale. I think it's actually kind of smart. It's been in launch in the spring, so it's given it a longer time for fans and consumers to try to get their hands on it. Obviously, it's been hard with the stock issues, but they would have been even more insane during the holiday season for stock issues, let me tell you. So I'm actually kind of grateful that it came out as soon as it did, and now when it comes to Christmas, it's going to come, rather than launching with like a handful of titles, maybe with 1 or 2 games, or even just the Zelda like we initially had, now it's going to be launching with this Christmas with, brand new Mario Kart, brand new 3D Zelda, brand new 3D Mario, freaking Pokken Tournament, Fire Emblem Warriors, Mario and Luigi, Mario and Rabbids, Splatoon 2, ARMS. That's already 8 titles! 8 titles that are awesome. I mean, obviously we don't know. That's already 8 titles that the game would be technically soft launching with for the holiday season. Way more than it would have initially released if it came out last Christmas, for example, with maybe just Breath of the Wild and kind of what we got initially with like Bomberman and stuff like that. Not to say that it was a bad launch, but like for a Christmas launch, that'd been very disappointing, right? So here's the part where I guess I talk about maybe some predictions for what I could see they could announce or talk about in a upcoming potential direct. I think it makes probably the most sense to, after this whole month happens of September, all the madness with all these games, then they roll out a Nintendo Direct. Maybe even a Nintendo Direct of the week of Super NES and or Mario and Luigi, just to kind of give a little, like I said, a little bit more of a buffer zone to the release of Fire Emblem Warriors and Mario Odyssey. Because I think we do need one more thing to, again, show off a little more of Odyssey. Kind of like what they did for Breath of the Wild, where they had that February Direct? No, end of January Direct, something like that. Maybe it was the beginning of February. And that showed off that last final trailer to try to push the final push before the game come out, So I think something similar is going to happen here with Mario Odyssey in whatever direct, that happens. So in whatever direct that kind of happens, that's why it kind of makes sense to put it a little bit farther away than just 2 weeks out, like give or take, obviously. And the thing is, at this direct, they could potentially announce something we haven't even heard that was coming out yet. They really could. I mean, I feel like we know all that Nintendo's working on, like what they've showed off, with their cards they've shown at E3, the titles that they talked about coming out in 2018, It would kind of be weird that they would be announcing a brand new game for Switch, that would be their November holiday title, only a month and a half out. But I mean, who knows? That's kind of what they did for like the release date of the Switch. They were only out, what, 4 months or something like that? So they've been playing stuff really close to the chest, and you would think that that would be something they would talk about at E3, but maybe something even bigger than Mario Odyssey. Or maybe it's not, probably not. But maybe the purpose is to focus on Mario Odyssey, to make that a big focal point in October, and then maybe have a smaller title for the November holiday title, but again, bundling in all the other games throughout this past year. I still didn't think Fire Emblem Warriors would be that title, and obviously we know now it's coming out the week before Mario Odyssey. Still mind-blown that even Mario Odyssey is coming out in October, So really begs the question, what is coming? What is coming? I mean, we didn't hear anything about Pikmin 3, or Pikmin 3. And then we never heard anything about Pikmin 4, and obviously Miyamoto said countless times, or the one time, I guess, that it was done, and that was years ago. So that's still something we're all kind of waiting on happening and probably going to be on the Switch. But, I don't know, it's just such a weird situation. Does it make sense to just announce something a few months out for its holiday release? But they have to, right? There's still, it's an empty month. They have to put some games in there, right? And I'm assuming we're going to see some more about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because we're really only 3 months out, and we know literally jack about that game. We know zilch. Zillity zilch, nothing. I mean, we've seen, like, what? The, Lyca new midday form, the new photo finder feature, and then, like, that one brief Gamescom trailer, I believe. I can't remember specifically. Or maybe it was the week before Gamescom, I'm not entirely sure. But again, didn't show off too much. Like the Komomo, I think Ultra Move, or Ultra Beast, oh gosh, what's it even called? Z-Move, there it is. Showed off his Z-Move, but other than that, that was really all that was going on there. So as far as like, we're still not sure what it is. So I'm assuming that'd be something that needs to show off in some sort of Nintendo Direct. Obviously, I'll save it more for predictions when we actually get closer to that. But I think that's really what Nintendo's got to do. It's a big gap. November to December, when potentially that's going to be Xenoblade Chronicles 2. If they stick to it, they still say it's going to be holiday 17. It's 17, yeah. If they're sticking to it, I'm all for it. I mean, they're plugging and chugging away with their little updates on Twitter or something like that, talking about how the music is nearing complete, blah blah blah. So maybe it could make the release date of this Christmas. Who knows? Nothing's stopping them. But I still think November is a big month. And an important month. Yes, the Switch probably could get away with just bundling all the games from this past year as their holiday titles, saying, hey, look, this holiday you can pick up a Switch as well as Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, ARMS, Splatoon 2, blah, 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 you know, giant, huge library of titles already, fantastic titles. So that's something definitely can do, but I still feel like there's something, right? There's gotta be something. I don't know. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Do you think there's going to be a game coming out this November for the Nintendo Switch, some big title? I really thought it should have been probably Fire Emblem Warriors. I was thinking actually it was going to be the first few weeks of November, and then I don't know what they would do the Friday before the Black Friday, the important special day. Or maybe it would just be a Pokemon Day, Ultra Sun and Moon, and just worry about just that, and then worry about Black Friday just being bundling previous titles. Definitely let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this stuff? Give this video a big, awesome like, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Nintendo Switch and other fun content like that. What else? Be sure to stay tuned this weekend. Saturday, we will be live streaming the Splatfest for Splatoon 2, Invisibility versus Flight. Should be a lot of fun, so definitely check it out and come back for that here right on the YouTube channel. Be sure to stay tuned for, I guess, content on all of them, all mentioned games I just mentioned. Because, oh gosh, I'm going to have to review so many games. I'm excited, and I'm so happy, and I cannot wait. It's so funny. I'm making it seem like it's a burden, like, oh my gosh, there's too many games. But at the same time, it's like, I'm so excited. There's too many games to play. I can't wait. There's been 0 lulls since the Switch come out. Maybe, I guess, a little bit in between ARMS and Splatoon 2. There was a little bit of a big gap in between there. But so far, it's been boom, 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 release, release, release. And, it's been so much fun. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.